Hop Saviors
Hip
TV.
Hop Saviors TV.
We got him. We finally got the other half of Hip Hop
Listen, man,
Saviors
I
TV.
I just been watching from afar, admiring, and give yourself a round of applause for all the work that you've been doing, man.
I appreciate
You know what I'm saying?
you.
You
Want me
had
to
some
fix the
good
mic
interviews.
for you?
No, it's good. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Talk
You
to
had
me.
some dope interviews, sitting down with some people, been some good messages, and it's like you getting your food. Because I've been trying to get us to do this for a while. You finally did it. And I was like, first, I was like, oh, he did it without me. But I'm like, nah, he's supposed to. Let him go ahead, get into his groove. And you're doing what you're doing, man.
The thing is this,
you got
man.
your wife beater on.
Yeah,
you out
I
here
did-
trying to
I
like
just
show
did
your
some
muscles.
push-ups. I just
You
did
did a push-up or two?
I cut like 10. But
Oh,
look,
okay. All right. There
I
you
told
go.
you this before, and you my bro. I got love for you. I love everything you're doing. But sometimes I say things
Yes.
that may go against what you stand for. And
Well, you never so let's clarify that. You would never say something that goes against what I stand for, right? You might say something that is not politically correct because I'm in different spaces.
Right.
We're so aligned that most of the things that you say is not against what I stand for. It's not like
right, I understand.
certain schools I go into, certain people I'm around might be like, damn, that's a little harsh. So you actually are able to say things that I personally can't say.
Right.
So you never say anything that goes against what I stand for. And I don't say anything that goes against what you stand. And if we do, we're gonna correct each other and be like, nah, that's not okay with me.
I articulate myself a little more different. I just don't want to ever hurt your brand because you are $1 million brand as well. Let's go, Mysonne.
Well, I appreciate that, but I want you to understand that the way you articulate yourself represents you. And before we do these shows, there's going to be disclaimers that says the words expressed by Bronx Logo do not reflect what Mysonne thinks, and the words Mysonne says does not reflect what Bronx Logo thinks. We are
And
individual
usually,
entities who have different ideologies and different thoughts, but we are morally on the same page.
Yeah, and usually the things you have to say really don't have nothing to do with me, Mike.
Exactly, and it's nothing wrong with that.
We never know how these conversations is gonna go on the Soundview Red Couch. And just Mike, I know you're from Highbridge. This is the Soundview Red Couch.
This is the Soundview Red Couch.
You know what I'm saying? And right
Shout out
now-
to Soundview. Listen, I am from Highbridge by way of Soundview. You know, my grandma moved up here in the late 80s, early 90s, and matter of fact, late 80s. I think I was 10, 11 years old. So I pretty much was raised back and forth here.
Oh, so you from the Highbridge?
I'm
that's why we
I'm from
probably get
behind.
along.
They used to call it behind the S. That's when they had TSS over there. So I'm from the buildings behind TSS.
Oh.
So I've been up in
you
this
from the
area.
good buildings?
Yeah,
The nice buildings.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
but
it
we was
really
outside.
nice. Yeah, back in the days it was nice. It's still nice. But today here is our first time ever doing this Hip Hop Saviors podcast. We named it Hip Hop Saviors TV. The work that he does and the work that I have been doing for a very long time is always geared to the culture of hip hop. And we both fell into the pits of what I say the booby traps of hip hop. And from the things that we have learned, we have used this platform, which is the social media platforms, to try to enlighten people and open people's eyes. So like that, they don't follow the same blueprint of destructions in the culture of hip hop. So Hip Hop Saviors TV, we are going to talk about the things that we see on social media, because social media to me was the best thing that happened to me. Everybody's on social media, but some people misuse social media and some people capitalize off the negative aspect of hip hop.
True.
Today, I want to talk about, I don't know if you want to talk about this, social media. There's people that come into the culture of hip hop and use podcasts and other people in the culture to gain views and attention and get money off it and getting deals and stuff like that. These people is actually hurting the culture. I'm going to say names. Like you said earlier, whatever I say really...
I mean, if you say a name that's correct, then it's correct.
Right? So you got people like Akademiks, who I feel is a infiltrator. We got Adam 22. There's a bunch of other people. I don't even want to mention their names, but a cancer to hip hop. Mm-hmm. Do you agree?
I mean, 100%. Those names you named are 100% on point with what you're saying. You know, these people have never given anything to the culture. They've only taken from the culture. They've incited violence in the culture. They've elevated negativity in the culture. They utilize the most negative situations to gain views in the culture. And they've taken the most negative situations from positive artists even to gain views, right? So they never even highlighted the positivity of the positive artists. They've taken the most negative shit that any positive artist done and highlighted it and made it mainstream. And then they watch as the indictments fall, as the bodies drop, you know, as people get locked up, and they just sit there and say they doing content. And people say, oh, well, they're not forcing people. They're not forcing people, but what they are doing is they are incentivizing negativity, right? So if you know that when you go to a certain platform, the things that this platform is known for is glorifying negativity. It's glorifying the gang cultures, glorifying the violence you have, glorifying the beef you have. And you're a young up-and-coming artist, you say, I need to be popping. So I know what I need to do when I go up there to be popping. I have to appeal to the market and to the viewers on this platform.
Do you think these podcasters pay these people to get on these shows?
I mean, some of them they do. Some of them definitely
And
get paid.
do they gotta talk a certain way about, like, is there a clause that says, okay, when you come up here, you can't hold back. You have to say everything.
I don't know if it's that. People who go up there and they know that they need to be lit, they answer it in a way that they know is going to get clickbait. They know that people going to pick. So you got beef with such and such. What is that? What's that like? How did that happen?
It's hip hop. It's boasting.
So they want to boast and they want to tell it because they know the last person that went up there, they had 2 million views. They read the algorithm, and people want to get into the algorithm.
Right.
And a lot of people are not educated enough to understand the reality of what's dealing with.
They not even realize they're being used.
And by the time they realize they're being used, it's the feds at your door. This is what we don't even understand. When you become the tough guy on the internet, when you become the biggest gangster on the internet, there's a gangster in his house that he feel like he tougher than you. And he not getting the same recognition.
And he's mad.
He's mad.
So he's gonna say something disrespectful.
He can't wait for the opportunity to show that he tougher than you. So you got beef with a dude that you don't even know exists.
Now, sometimes you got beef with people you do know.
And them too. What happens is after you done made yourself the biggest, toughest person in the world on these sites, there's somebody that want to show they tougher than you. And they always say, hit a killer, be a killer. That's the term.
But you know what I have a problem with people saying, you touched on this earlier, I'm only doing it for content. It's like WWE, but they use these things in court. Can you tell the judge that, Your Honor, it's fake? That's not really me. That's a character. No. They're using these videos on these podcasters against you in the court of law.
We see that every day. So what I'm trying to say is, if you haven't learned that that's not the reality of what we're dealing with, then there's nothing I can tell you. It's not really WWE because it's only WWE if me and you say, yo, we beefing with each other. Right? And we're going to go on the internet and we're going to beef with each other. Then it's WWE because we're going to hit each other soft, we're gonna fake, we're going to do all the shit, and we're going to get in the ring, and we know what we're here for. But if you beef with me and I'm not beefing with you, and you disrespect me online, and you just saying you just doing it, there's a problem. Now, you think it's for social media, but I don't. So when you start allowing yourself to fall into the social media world, dudes die every day because of social media.
Yeah.
Dudes die every day because of the words that they utilize to describe another man or woman on social media, disrespecting someone on social media. If you haven't learned that by now, it's nothing I can tell you. Right. Experience is the best teacher. And sometimes people have to learn the hard way. I don't disrespect nobody online. I don't say anything about you that I'm not fully prepared or understand that if I see you, the possibility might be that you might not like what I said and we might have to handle a certain... But only way I'm going to say that about you is if I deemed you an enemy of what it is I represent as a man.
I done seen people talk reckless about other individuals on social media, and when they run into them, the first thing they do is they extend their hand.
I mean, that's a common thing. It actually happened to me. I've got on the phone with the internet trolls, and they be like, oh, my God, yo, I'm a fan. I love you. Yo, I can't believe I'm on the phone with you. After dissing you and talking crazy to you. So that's the thing they do. I just never been that type of person.
So it's like a tactic to disrespect people?
Yeah,
so
to gain views.
Your attention.
To get your attention.
I should have been dissed you.
Yeah, you should have. You should have dissed me. And you'll never get a reply for it. The tactic is to diss you and constantly make you have to say something. My ego is not that big. I was taught real nigga shit. And
yeah, but real nigga shit is not real anymore. Are we the only ones that sticking to these morals?
But that's all I know. I cannot allow my life to be led by morals that you abide by. I sleep good at night because the morals that I have utilized to galvanize my life around fit me, the person I am. It makes me comfortable. It makes me comfortable that my word is my bond, that if I call you my brother, I treat you like my brother. If I make a mistake and we have a disagreement, I can say I'm wrong. These are things that make me comfortable, that I live my life a certain way. And most of the people, if not every person in my life, can say that that's who I've always been. Now, if I don't even care about you at all, you talking about me is useless.
Right.
Like, it's for me to care about your opinion of me, I have to care about you. So if I don't give a fuck about who you are and you have opinion of me, then you're wasting your time telling me. It's your business, it's not mine.
Do you think that we are being outnumbered by these people who call themselves real on the internet?
I mean, we've always been outnumbered. That's not a new thing. Fake is always outnumber the real because it's a lot harder to be real. It's a lot harder to live by a standard. It's a lot harder not to compromise when the chips is down, when you outnumber, right? When you outnumbered by people that saying doing sucker shit, it's a lot harder not to go along to get along, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we always gonna be outnumbered, but that makes it more of a reward for me. Knowing that I'm in the few people that's willing and able to stand tall despite all of the adversaries.
But how is it hard to be real if you're just being yourself? If you're just being yourself, it should come
because what happens is this.
Flawlessly.
It should come. It should come. No, flawlessly.
Flawlessly. My first language is Bronx.
Yeah, you speak Bronx.